The thoughts, views, and comments expressed by the hosts, guests, and callers on Beyond the Headlines are not necessarily those of management, ownership, or production unit of the Verizon Media Group. Beyond the Headlines is a production of ILTV Studios and cannot be reproduced or represented in part or entirety without express written permission of the Verizon Media Group. Beyond the Headlines is the intellectual property of the Verizon Media Group. Copyright 2021.
Coming up tonight, former National Security Minister Marvin Dames on the defensive tonight as his business partner is caught up in a drug smuggling case in the United States. A Grand Bahama man was caught masquerading as a lawyer. That's not the shocking part. Take a look at this photo. Yeah, that's right. That is the 30-year-old man dressed as a woman as he appeared in Grand Bahama courtrooms. Can't make this stuff up. And if you think that's interesting, well, get a hold of this. Leroy Major says the PLP has sabotaged his re-election bid in Southern Shores. We talk about that tonight. This is Beyond the Headlines. Good evening. I'm Shanique Miller. It's great to have you along this evening. The Free National Movement candidate for Mount Moriah, Marvin Dames, admitting today he previously conducted business with a man now in U.S. custody in connection of drug possession. The man was arrested in the United States. The F&M candidate and former Minister of National Security says he had no involvement in the criminal activity. Jose Etienne picks the story up from here.
Eyewitness News has been working all day to connect the dots after a business associate of former National Security Minister Marvin Dames was arrested in Broward County, Florida. Reports indicate on drug-related charges. In a statement released this morning, Dames confirmed that he and his wife entered into a business arrangement with the individual in 2024. However, it remains unclear whether that business relationship is still active. The statement does not indicate that the partnership was terminated, nor does it detail the nature of the business arrangement. We do know Dames, a former deputy commissioner of police, operates a private security firm. There are also unconfirmed reports suggesting possible involvement in a maritime-related business. At this time, we cannot confirm whether either entity is connected to the individual's arrest. Dames, who is seeking to reclaim the Mount Moriah seat, states that neither he or his wife had any knowledge of, involvement in, or benefit from any alleged unlawful activity. He further states that at no time did he or his wife authorize, participate in, or sanction any criminal conduct. Dames also says he and his wife will fully cooperate with any lawful inquiry in the Bahamas or the United States. Now, there are unconfirmed reports attempting to link Dames to a separate incident involving a Bahamian man arrested near Florida with approximately 200 kilograms of cocaine on a private vessel. We must emphasize those reports remain unsubstantiated. At this stage, there is no official indication that Dames is the target of any investigation. And there are no signs that he intends to withdraw his candidacy as he prepares for another bid to unseat the incumbent member of parliament who defeated him in 2021. We continue to seek official confirmation from United States authorities and local law enforcement. Jose Etienne, Eyewitness News.
Well, it's a story really that has taken hold of the internet. Many people on WhatsApp and social media are really having their say and their own interpretation of whatever it is that is involving a boat that is believed to be registered to Marvin Dames, the MV Real Experience. It is also believed that Dames is involved with, operated or operates marine, as you heard Jose talk about, a maritime type business. I think it's to do with charter fishing and that type thing. Not sure if this vessel was involved in that, but I am going to start the discussion right there this evening. I'm going to bring in the Hot Topics panel. You all, a lot has been said. We're expecting, of course, Glenroy Pratt to be joining us shortly as well by Zoom. But welcome, Peggy, Candace, and Cassius Stewart. It's good to have you both here. Good evening to you. a lot has been said about this. This brings back to memory just a few weeks ago with another high-profile international case where Bahamians were named. Now, here is a case where a man was caught by law enforcement agents in the United States with 200 plus kilos of cocaine on a vessel, saying that, listen, he operates by himself. He called no names, but Marvin Dames immediately came out and said, listen, a person, I guess, who is now a part of an investigation, was a business partner, is a business partner. Not sure where that relationship stands right now, but sort of putting it out there before it turns into what it is morphing into. You all, what does this do with Marvin Dames, who is a ratified candidate heading into a next general election, just to start with?
Good evening, Shanique. Good evening, Bahamas. Thank you for having me here. Initially, a statement for me created more questions. We want more information. Since you started this conversation, we want to know what was the business. And my personal question is, why you brought your wife's name into it? Why not protect her from the scrutiny that she will indeed have now from Bahamians? It is not a good look. And many Bahamians are trying to connect it and ask questions like, is he the politician that remained unnamed? And the other case that we are aware of with the defense force officer and the police officer. And so
this is where the discussion has gone to on social
media? This is where
media?
the discussion has gone to on social media. Bahamians are paying attention. Bahamians are smart. You keep fooling yourself about the average. Bahamians are street smart. They have common sense and they like drama. So they're used to putting puzzles together and creating this scenario and coming to their own conclusions. So it was very, very active today on social media in those WhatsApp group. People asking questions, people assuming, and it definitely is not a good look for the Mount Moriah candidate.
Well, first of all, good evening, Bahamas. It's cold. And it's cold for some people. And it's cold. I don't like the cold, but it's cold. I know it's cold. It's a cold night for Marvin. One thing, let me explain something to you all in the Bahamas. Every phone call you make, every WhatsApp you call, every text you call, the United States knows. Every phone call, if your phone is not on, they can still hear your conversation. How do you think they're able to find and catch drug dealers? So for y'all who trying to do drugs, don't do it because you can get catch. So, that being said, this is not a good look for the former minister. It is not a good look for the candidacy, his candidacy. It's not a good look for the Free National Movement. Because to be even associated or tied to this individual, it's a bad thing. And so for me, it breaks my heart because we've seen so many people from time after memorial over the last 2 years, high-ranking people being caught up in this nonsense called drugs. We know the United States is heavy pushing against drugs and they're going after people who smuggle drugs into the United States. So you know you can't get away with it.
Yeah, this is not the time to even get caught, be caught up in. It was shocking just to hear that the gentleman was arrested and with such a large amount of drugs. 200
kilos of cocaine.
With drugs on board.
It's a lot of drugs. So,
but what kind of shadow does this cast?
Nobody deals drugs by themselves. And I guarantee you that the United States is now monitoring every phone call, every message, every form of text to see how this ties and where this goes. That's how they operate.
Cassius, the gentleman told law enforcement in the United States that he operates alone, that he is connected with no one and no one is connected with him. Then Marvin Dames has said, and Glenroy, you're going to come in right now. You're going to come right now. Marvin Dames has said he knows nothing of what took place in Broward County.
Now, taking his word, he may not know anything about it, right? But in the Bahamas, if drugs is found in the house and 6 people in the house, guess who's going to jail? Everybody going to jail. Yes. That's just how it goes. And so we got to be very careful of the association. I mean, as the former minister, you're supposed to vet the people you're doing business with because you can't associate with certain people. And so that is a very serious thing. But we hope to see how this plays out. Because that is a very, very thing. And right now, I think he should be writing the beginning of his resignation letter.
Glenroy, Glenroy, good evening to you. Welcome to the show. Glenroy, does Marvin Dames tonight, as the ratified candidate for the Free National Movement in Mount Moriah, need to be penning his resignation?
I would say no. I mean, why would he tender his resignation? He already stated that he was not involved with it. Obviously, is in the same vein, if you have children living in your house and they're involved with criminal activity, yes, if the police comes and they find stuff in your house, everybody gets locked up. But in this instance, there is not the house. This is out in the field in somewhere in another country. This guy was saying that he's operating on his own. The fact is that when you have children, even in those instances in your home, the child is responsible. The parent isn't always responsible for what children do behind their back. You could enter a business arrangement with other individuals and do not know what kind of background they have. That doesn't mean that you're guilty by association. We could attribute it, we could try to suggest that, but that doesn't necessarily. We look at a lot of different instances where there are former politicians in this country, and namely even the former prime minister who was dead and gone, have been associated with people in his cabinet and others who were involved with certain, or alleged to have been involved with certain trades, and they hadn't resigned.
Glenroy, come on.
In the Bahamas, it's a small country. With social media, you got to win in the court of public opinion. And so, as a politician,
the court of public opinion,
court of public opinion determines if he's elected, and if he's not electable because of these things, he may be innocent. No. But the court of public opinion in the Bahamas is not looking good for him. And so, if he cannot be elected because of that, he should step away so that somebody else can come in.
Not necessarily.
But
I think there are some questions that needs to be answered. I agree with that.
Like what? Like what? Glenroy, like what? Give me one. Give me one of those questions that need to be answered.
Give us some questions.
One of those questions.
One.
Well, the fact is, what type of business is it, right?
yes.
That's a good question. What type of business? But the fact is, you cannot attribute somebody else's behavior to yourself. If you enter business arrangement, some people go awry. You could be. Listen, you are in the church and the pastor goes awry. That means everybody in the church is guilty of being whatever the pastor is doing.
Different scenario, Glenn, right? It's a different scenario. You can't use
no, it's
that.
not a different scenario. It's the principle.
You can't use it. All we're saying, and we're not saying that he's guilty. All we're saying is association, and you want to be a candidate in the next election is not a good picture.
Listen, if we talk about association, we have a lot of politicians in this country that have been associated with different things. But we cannot attribute them to being guilty, right?
Well, if you take a picture with Aspin, you know you're guilty, right? You don't even, in America, you don't even have to know him. All you do is take a picture with him and they see you guilty. You've been on the island.
That's exactly the
Did you go on the island? Did he go on the island? That's the question.
But Glenroy, I noticed
he had a wide reach.
Your temperament changed when the Epstein story. But one of the questions that I think you should ask on our behalf is it true that the boat used with those 2,000 pounds or kilos or whatever they were, 200
keys.
Okay, 200 keys. Was it registered in Mr. Dames' name? Probably you could find out first.
But wasn't there a gentleman who was accused of murder? Wasn't there a gentleman who was accused of being involved with a murder plot that transpired all the way in Clifton Key? He was a part of the PLP government. Can we say that everybody in that government is corrupt?
Can you stay to the point?
That person is not seeking election, never sought, as far as I'm aware.
And he's not today's trending story.
But he's still a part of the government.
And that case, in fact, I think that person is imprisoned as we speak. But listen, I want to ask you all, is this a shadow that the Free National Movement can afford to have at this moment, or this is just something separate and apart?
Especially when they try to be the higher moral party in this country.
When were they trying to be the higher? No,
every time they speak, every time they speak.
I don't even mean it like that.
Accountability, transparency.
I'm saying every political organization is trying to present this very high moral authority.
The FNM been trying to catch a fire for a long time, but now they've caught the fire. All of them. They caught the fire.
More fire.
And so, the party needed the momentum, but the party doesn't have the momentum. But now it seems to just put a damper on everything because this is not a good look. And so leadership is one thing. You have to understand in Westminster system, they said, even if you are not guilty, the appearance of guilt is a bad thing in Westminster system.
Let's apply that same principle. Wasn't there just an Epstein file that just was dropped and allegedly had some persons who are running for political office that
Yes,
has
and
been indicted.
but listen, there's been nothing concrete, Glenroy, that supported anything that came out. So that fizzled very
But
quickly.
there's nothing concrete that supports
But Dames himself
Said
sent
that's his
out a
business-
statement
that's his business
saying this
partner.
was his business partner.
And then if you
But
think
that's-
about
okay,
you think about money laundering and
and
the
so-
proceeds of crime,
And so
how far does it go back?
legitimate questions, and I'm not suggesting that anything because he has stated, a former senior police officer, someone who runs a security firm, a former minister of national security, so we will take his word. He has stated he knows nothing about the boat that's registered in his name and what it was up to at the time of arrest. However, what we're saying though, he says this person is or was a business partner. So therefore, a lot
He
of
linked
legitimate
himself to
questions
it.
come about. However, when you mention the Epstein rumors, really, that happened about maybe 2-3 weeks ago, that is all they were. Nothing concrete
And it fizzled
supported
out.
and accompanied those rumors.
But again, the rumors still exist. It's rumors. That's all it is.
Right, Glenroy,
But that is different from what we're dealing with
I want
today,
you to be my
Glenroy.
friend because you're going down with me to the end. I want you to
I
be
would
my
tell
friend.
Glenroy, save
You can be
yourself.
my friend, Glenroy.
Well, I'll
because
tell
you're
you
going
this,
down with me to the end.
Glenroy may have to step in right here because you all, this right here, you can't make this one up. I need a reality TV. Call Rick Fox. Tell him call his reality TV friends. Because tell Rick Fox call his reality TV friends for this one. A 30-year-old man is heading to prison tonight after he admitted he impersonated a female attorney. That's right, you all heard me right. This man impersonated a female attorney and defrauded clients. Akimo McIntosh pleaded guilty to 13 counts of forgery, 13 counts of possession of forged documents, and 13 counts of uttering forged documents. He also faces, Marvin, the pictures, y'all, come on now. The people ain't watching this segment to see me. You know, let's show them to do it and keep that same one picture up. So listen, he also had 4 counts of fraud by false pretense of money laundering. Right there, keep that right up. That's him, y'all. I don't know how he shaved, how he got slim. That's some serious contouring that this gentleman did. The wig looked like it laid. But I want to know what's happening in the courts of Grand Bahama. Keep it right there, y'all. Keep it right there. What is happening in the courtrooms of Grand Bahama and the people of Grand Bahama to have this man walking around in this 10-ton of makeup and they could not spot. And then how was his voice? Anyway, listen, y'all. Let me finish reading this to y'all. Listen, I don't get it. Freeport, what's going on with y'all? We got a bridge over here we could tell y'all, you know. 1 count of procuring a forged document and 3 counts of pretending to be a counsel and attorney. Keep it going, you all. Let's go. Let's keep it moving in the back there. Now, according to investigators, McIntosh operated under the alias Mrs. Roll, targeting individuals seeking legal advice and representation and fraudulently collecting money under the guise of being a licensed attorney. Police say at the time of his arrest, McIntosh was dressed in spandex and tights with eyelashes and a face full of makeup, including eyebrows drawn on. A search of his vehicles allegedly uncovered a travel bag containing male clothing in the trunk, along with items including high heels, jewelry, nail polish, and 2 cellular phones. During court proceedings today, McIntosh told the court that he accepted the facts of the case, stating that people make mistakes.
Oh, Lord.
I tell you, boy, that's a serious kind, it's a different level of mistake here. He also revealed that he is currently suffering from several health challenges. You all, let's just talk about, put the picture up, you all. Let's just show McIntosh. He's a star. Let's just show what y'all think right there. What y'all think was going on in Grand Bahama that this right here, this, who knows how long it took place and how long it went on for, but this happened in Grand Bahama, right here in the Bahamas, in Grand Bahama.
And people hired him.
Hired and paid.
And paid him. And attorneys are well known. I mean, who identified him? He going before a judge. The judge didn't know.
A whole judge.
JD, all I can say is be careful that people don't get gas. Because they can swing you.
Oh my
Watch
God.
them people who get gas. They can swing you. Because this boy turned into a woman and then go on to court to be the his own lawyer.
Miss Rose.
This fella creative. I've never seen such creativity. But, you know, he needs to go to jail because he is off the chain. Fraud, defrauding this, and then you turn into your own lawyer, put on makeup, and you go on to court to represent yourself.
No, and people.
And other people do.
Other people. That's
Right.
right. Glenroy, I don't know if you have something to say about this.
He get gas.
I'm concerned about all the fellas who may have fallen in love with her.
Oh my God. Oh,
Hey, it's your boy Charlie Bahama here at Superwash.
New level.
We didn't think of that. Listen, don't go anywhere. We are just getting started. Leroy Major, this is the most vocal he's been in this entire term. Well, tonight, Leroy Major say the PLP gave him a dirty deal. We're backward after this.
Oh, Lord.
Hey, it's your boy Charlie Bahama here at Superwash. And you know how Superwash always have the latest and greatest model of washer and dryer? Well, they thought it's about time they get the latest supermodel as well.
Hey, wait a minute, Mr. Charlie Banana. Just because Superwash always changing and upgrading their machines, I mean they gotta change those spokesmen. They got the newest washer and dryer, and they always upgrading all their locations. And these two models, they ain't got to change. Superwash, they washes you, cleans you, presses you 24/7.
Introducing the Easy Renew portal, brought to you by the National Insurance Board. Renewing your national insurance card has never been easier.
I can renew our cards right from the comfort of our home.
And it's so convenient.
Wow.
Whether you're at work or studying hard at the library, even when you're on the go or enjoying retirement.
This is so easy.
Day or night, the Easy Renew portal is there for you. Easy Renew portal. Convenience at your fingertips.
Very dry, tight, sensitive skin? Relieve it in 60 seconds with Aveeno Skin Relief. With soothing triple oat complex, clinically proven to heal and strengthen dry skin. Aveeno, your skin stronger.
Don't let diarrhea steal your sunshine. Imodium Multi-Symptom Relief gets to work fast in just 1 hour, offering our most complete relief from diarrhea, bloating, gas, and cramps. So you can get diarrhea off your mind. Imodium. Calm the chaos of diarrhea.
Are you self-employed or have a small business that's looking for a faster, easier way to submit your C10 statements and pay NIB contributions? Sign up for the NIB C10 Easy Submit and Pay mobile app today. It's quick, secure, and takes just 5 simple steps. You will need a completed R1 business registration form and 2 forms of ID, a passport, voter's card, NIB card, or driver's license. Choose your role and enter your info, NI number, employer's NI number, name, and date of birth. Hit next. Enter your email, check your inbox for the code, then type it in to verify. Upload the R1 form and your 2 forms of ID and tap submit. Track your application anytime by tapping check status. Once approved, you'll get your confirmation and PIN by email within 24 to 72 hours. Return to the app, tap register now, set your login details and enter your final code. That's it. You're now ready to manage your NIB contributions anytime, anywhere. Self-employed persons, small business owners, skip the line, save time. Download the NIB C10 Easy Submit and Pay mobile app today.
It's a Holy Frosty Christmas and Wendy's and Coke is bringing the chill. This year, when you upgrade any Wendy's combo to a large, you can instantly win big with the Upgrade and Win Christmas giveaway. We're talking travel gift cards, gadgets, holiday treats, and prizes that make your Holy Frosty Christmas shine. Just upgrade your favorite lunch combo, scan the QR code on your receipt to enter and let the holiday magic begin. Enjoy great tasting food and win big this Christmas with Wendy's and Coca-Cola's Upgrade and Win. Rules and restrictions apply.
103.5 is turning 8 years old. 103.5 The Beat and Keep the Vibe Alive Music Group presents The Beat Fest. It's a Bahamian musical experience on March 14th at The Pond. Doors open 7 p.m. sharp. Performing live, Shine, Stevie S, Mama D, Veronica Bishop, Funky D, all backed up by The Pond Band.
I was in the bar just
Hosted by Joe Cools, 1K Gaza, and Jess Mo. Music by 103.5 The Beat DJ. Tickets available now at all Beauty Shack locations. General admission, $30. VIP, $75. Get your tickets early. Spots are limited. Sponsored by Mazzari International, The Plug, and The Beauty Shack. And of course, 103.5 The Beat.
This segment is brought to you by EV Motors Fleet Sales Division. For 2026 commercial vehicles, call 821-2403 today.
Welcome back to Beyond the Headlines. It's good to have you all tuned in this evening. Infighting seemingly brewing within the Southern Shores branch of the Progressive Liberal Party, with the sitting Member of Parliament, Leroy Major, accusing the government of allegedly sabotaging his re-election bid by mishandling the public contracts in his constituency. Major's comments came in direct response to a video from PLP candidate Obi Roberts touting his efforts for mowing the grass of the Misty Close Park through a partnership with the Bahamas Department of Corrections. Major making it very clear the ongoing infrastructural work in Southern Shores is partly the result of his efforts and the mess the government reportedly created.
Road, Misty Gardens have been calling in and letting him know about the situation at the park. He came and he get it done. But I must say that in one of the chat, somebody asked what was the meaning behind this park. Well, today I want to answer that. This park was always on a contract. For some reason, it came off a contract because someone at the PLP headquarters control all of my contracts, take it and give it to who they want to give it to. Just the sabotage. I wanted to know if it could work. And so, Mr. Roberts, we in Marshall Road, we in Misty Gardens, we thank you for cleaning up the mess that you created. As a matter of fact, for the road work that is taking place right now in Millis Heights and Sunset Park, that is phase 2 from what I started. Has nothing to do with you and has nothing to do with the PLP powers.
Go ahead, Leroy Major. Leroy Major is more vocal than he's ever been. Leroy Major say that PLP and someone at PLP headquarters sabotaged him. You all, what do you make of this very vocal, very brave and brash Leroy Major? I'm not quite sure, if there's a need for him to try and sort something out. But he's saying to Obi, don't pat yourself on the back, dude. Nothing to do with you. What's happening?
Well, obviously he's angry, and whatever transpired between him and the leadership of the PLP is not good, and it's not going that good. I think the leadership needs to reach out to him and straighten out whatever situation they got, because he is hell bent on destroying any movement they are making in that constituency. That can only end up one way. They're losing the constituency because people are now turned off. So they got to fix that. But also, interesting enough is that if Leroy was this vocal as the MP for the last 5 years, then he wouldn't have this problem of not being the MP. Because, this is the most I've ever heard him speak. And so as an MP, you got to be vocal. You got to be in the Bahamas. Throughout, people got to know who you are. Mm-hmm. And so, but him now coming out and using his voice to destroy his party, is not a good thing for them. They got to fix that, and they got to fix that quickly.
You said vocal. If he was that visible, he's actually
oh yeah, that's true. And he get on a nice shade too.
He's standing on the park that
really
he
nice
lives right around the corner from. I'm told the same park is in his neighborhood. The PLP, I don't think have anything to sort out with Leroy Major, because they have already ratified a candidate for the constituency, Mr. Roberts. And so I think what Leroy is trying to do, he's trying to stir up. But I would advise the new candidate, ratified candidate, to stay focused, stay on the ground, continue to do what you've been doing, reaching out, knocking on every door. Leroy Major is the former candidate.
But in politics, you got to understand that you got to be able to keep as much that fire out, because it can only destroy. So, Leroy, while you see him as one person, he can influence another 15 people, and you could lose by 15 votes.
I understand that.
And so you got to be very, very careful how you're dealing with people. And so as political organizations, sometimes we take people for granted, and that's probably the problem. We have to stop taking people for granted because people got needs, they got concerns, they want to be loved, they want to be, they feel like they want to be, that you care about them. And so Leroy may be saying, listen, I don't like how you all treated me. So it's up to the leader of the party now to reach down and say, listen, Leroy, whatever happened is not right, let's fix it, let's make it right. But you cannot say, we ain't checking for Leroy, that ain't the right way to go. You got to reach out to him because he was a part of you, and as a part of you, you got to respect him and show him that respect.
Well, you know, the thing is, they weren't checking from him from the time that the nomination discussions were being had. They never settled that issue. Mm-hmm. The fact is they actually allowed it to go on. I mean, he is just a study case and not seeing when the writing is on the wall. Obviously, the party moved on without him knowing. He obviously was not as in tune as he thought he was. But the saddest part is being in that time and sitting in those meetings and being amongst his peers and nobody even told him anything. That's kind of cutthroat. That kind of stab in the back. But I agree with Cassius in the sense that political parties often sometimes have a sense of arrogance that they are becoming very dismissive of individuals because of their perceived understanding of their influence in the community. But everybody has some level of influence. And to the extent that that influence causes you to lose votes, is something that you need to make sure that you handle gingerly, because the reality is politics is about numbers. And whenever you have a reduction in numbers in any fashion, it causes you to be in a place of having to catch up. And it isn't always good because those negative voices can bring about major disruption in your electoral process and cause you not to be successful. So they have some work to do, but I think the horse is already out the barn and he's eating hay and enjoying the fat of the land.
From the park.
Very,
From the lawnmower that will be cleaned up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very interesting. But Leroy Major, that's good, Glenroy. But no, Leroy Major, it's just quite interesting that he's speaking out now. I think there's been rumors about him for a long time in terms of him maybe not getting the nomination. And now he waited until this time to be outspoken. The PLP waited until this time to not speak with him, obviously, and pull him in and let him know exactly that, Leroy, we will not be moving forward with you. And so again, it all just looks sloppy.
No, in June of last year, Leroy Major made a statement that was, he got some backlash from about being a backbencher and being ignored. And then he came back the following couple of days and say, oh, I didn't mean it like that. So this thing has been undercurrent. And
because he got wind that they will not be moving forward with him.
But there's a reason for that.
There's a reason for it.
The political parties got to understand, and sometimes the leader has to understand how to finesse its people, because snakes shed skin, and sometimes you have to shed skin. There are people that you cannot take on the next leg that was on you on the first leg, but you have to know how to deal with people. If you have no people skill, then what's going to happen is you're going to have the Leroy effect, where they come back to try to bite you. You have to understand that sometimes you have to be able to say to people, listen, we thank you for the first leg, the next leg, we need more of this, more of that, more flow, whatever. But you have to be able to tell people that. But, you know, for Leroy, there are many other people in the PLP party now that they should have shared, but probably didn't have the guts to do it. But, you know, they cannot take them to the next level. And that's the problem with political parties. Sometimes you got
the Leroy effect.
The Leroy effect.
But there are two constituencies that the PLP serving member of parliament made the possibility of an F&M win very possible in the minds of those aspiring candidates. I speak to what I know of. Leroy Major, poor performance in Southern Shores made Southern Shores such a ticket for the Free National Movement. When we look at Fort Charlotte, the performance then of the current and serving member of parliament made Fort Charlotte like an easy win for the F&M. And we see those dynamics change when the PLP selected their candidate, being Mr. Sabas and Mr. Roberts. And so now, seats that they thought would have been an easy win, that has changed for the Free National Movement candidate. Leroy Major storing out, I think, is for his ego, building up his self-esteem.
He's trying to repair his legacy, huh?
Repair something.
He's fighting because it's self-preservation.
Yeah,
it's
that.
self-preservation.
Thank you.
Everyone has to preserve themselves
That's
at the end
natural,
of the day, and
yes.
so he has to preserve his legacy because this is his last call. And so at the end of the day, how does he want the world to remember him? And so what he's trying to do is try to fight it.
But I don't think this is the. I don't think
remember him
because
on the
not doing it right.
Because had Leroy Major spoken out about any issue in Southern Shores before now, he would have been the hero for Southern Shores.
But then we can say that by extension, name one among the
to be honest, quite a few of these guys are not as vocal in their
constituency.
seats.
Yep.
I mean, and the truth is they hardly as involved as they should be. I mean, and obviously there are some things that I'm seeing now in this whole electoral cycle that concerns me. And one of those things is this
Marvin
shedding of resources, specifically where people will vote for people based on resources. The core job of an MP is to be a legislator, to bring about legislation that will cause the country to move forward. And whereas an MP is being reduced to just somebody who is cleaning parks and all this other stuff, that's concerning.
Parks
we
are
need
important.
to make sure that laws are in place that helps the Bahamian for generations unborn. And not just laws putting on books, laws that are carried out and followed through on.
Sensible policies, man. Sensible policies, and you are so right. You are so right. You got to say that again because our elections are reduced to just a TikTok show and I guess a little, what you call it, fun. There's no
That's a part of
seriousness.
it. That is a part of it, though. You cannot exclude those things, but don't just bring those things to the table. You must show yourself on social media now, but that must be accompanied by a vision, by a plan, by resources to move the vision forward. Oh, it's very important this election season. That absolutely. Speaking of resources, were nursing students at the Bahamas Baptist University fleeced? That story after the break.
What is there?
You got Tiffin, woman Tiffin there.
The Fox Foundation proudly presents the keynote speaker for the 3rd Annual Women's Entrepreneurship Initiative, this March 19th at 7 p.m. at the beautiful Baha Mar Resort. Get ready to be inspired by Randy Zuckerberg, tech innovator and the creator of Facebook Live. She revolutionized real-time digital engagement, empowering individuals and brands to broadcast instantly to global audiences. And now she brings that innovation and insight to the Fox Foundation's 3rd Annual Women's Entrepreneurship Initiative, March 19th at 7 p.m. at the Baha Mar Resort. Under this year's theme, Give to Gain, join us for a night designed to inspire growth, spark opportunity, and strengthen the future of women in business.
Hey, it's time to lock in your vote.
Your vote is your power.
With the new boundaries in place, you may need to transfer or confirm your voter registration.
And if you have never registered or didn't plan to vote,
don't get left out on one of the most important decisions of your future.
Make sure when election day comes, you're ready to say,
your say, your vote, your choice.
Okay, guys, this is what we doing today. We training for the bounce back. This 150K payday. Y'all ready? Yes. Y'all sweating today. Give me a 2 ball. 10. Give me another 2 ball. 15. You spin, right? It don't look so. It's 10K. Name these games after me. Food Dragon.
Food Dragon.
Cinema Classic.
Cinema Classic.
Yeah. Put that parlay in. Put that in. You know, Jalen Brunson disappointed us last time. You want to walk for this or you want to run for this? Good pace. Good pace. Not too much water. Put it down. Let's go.
It's the Bounce Back 150K payday. Big wins for 10 weeks straight. 15K every week. 10K to a lucky winner. Visit islandluck.com for more info. Island Luck. Winners live here. 103.5 is turning 8 years old. 103.5 The Beat and Keep the Vibe Alive Music Group presents The Beat Fest. It's a Bahamian musical experience on March 14th at The Pond. Doors open 7 p.m. sharp. Performing live, Shine, Stevie S, Mama D, Veronica Bishop, Funky D. All backed up by the Pond Band. Hosted by Joe Cools, 1K Gaza, and Jess Mo. Music by 103.5 The Beat DJ. Tickets available now at all Beauty Shack locations. General admission, 30. VIP, 75. Get your tickets early. Spots are limited. Sponsored by Mazzari International, The Plug, and The Beauty Shack. And of course, 103.5 The Beat.
The Bahamas Baptist University College under a microscope tonight amid speculation that the tertiary institution could be double dipping. But an Eyewitness News investigation suggests that the Ministry of Health could also be at fault. Janelle Longley has the story.
And I confirmed with both PHA and somebody from administration that the clinical rotation fee is $250 for the entire rotation, not per clinical day. We are being charged per clinical day, which would have given us a total of $750. I swiped my card and I got a physical receipt. When I checked my account to see that the money came off, the funds did not go to the Bahamas Baptist University College. The funds that I paid went to Early Access Training Center, which is the school's president's personal institution, and not the Bahamas Baptist College.
Clark claims the fee that they were charged was 3 times what the Public Hospitals Authority required. Still determined to finish, some students paid. Christy Miller says she paid $500 toward her clinical rotation, only to later be locked out of the school's online system, unable to access classes. She says after paying an additional balance, her money was returned.
About 5 minutes later, someone from the office told me that the secretary, the assistant for the president, had called me back. When I went to the office, she informed me that she gave me my monies back in an envelope with, she asked for the receipt back. And I was told that my name was apparently on a list of students that she was not to have accepted funds from. No other information was given. So I asked about my refund of the $500 I had previously paid. And she seemed shocked, and she told me that I would have needed to reach out to the president.
We reached out to the university president, who directed our team to the Ministry of Health and Wellness. We have received, however, no comment up to news time. Now removed from the program and forced to either start over or walk away from their nursing dreams, Clark says there's one question that remains.
When this course is completed, and you would have charged the government for me, knowing that I am not enrolled, knowing that you have prohibited me from enrolling, who is going to pay the government back for this education that I did not receive in time or money? Who is going to pay them back?
Janelle Longley, Eyewitness News.
You know, it is so confusing. I thought, Eric, I thought we had a response from Dr. Darville there, but you all, what is happening? These people, women and others, studying nursing, obviously, and we know the fact that it's a shortage of nurses in the healthcare system, public and private, and they apparently are paying what they shouldn't be paying, and then the monies are being directed elsewhere, not to go through the institution and by extension the PHA. So the thing is, are they just wasting their time is what it is, because as she is saying, she has paid for an education she did not receive, and then the money is reportedly, allegedly going to the president of the institution. You all, this big mess that nobody could seem to answer to and have the answers for, like, it can ill afford to happen in a public healthcare system that's limping along.
You know, Shanique, we started off with drugs, fraud, man dressed up as woman as a lawyer. Now we talk about robbing students. What's going on today, Shanique? What's going on today?
It's very,
you know, these poor children, all they're trying to do is go to school.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? And then it's hard for them to come by money. Why? I mean, of course, PHA needs to cause an audit to go on to see exactly what's going on, because PHA may not know what's going on. But if that is the case, what they're saying is true, then somebody needs to be investigated and then somebody needs to be fired. No questions asked, because
or that institution need not to be used and a part of the Ministry of Health's sort of system where they can say, hey, you can go study nursing here or there, or that kind of, it needs to be taken out of the system, obviously.
Yeah, but you don't do that. I mean, obviously, listen, I'm PHA. You all know y'all got to go do some work now. So go ahead and investigate what they, and then and then they punishing the girl because she's now talking about the problem. And she's wondering where her money going, because I want where my money going to. If I got to pay $250 every time I come to class and I'm supposed to only pay $250, then something is wrong. And now because I'm concerned, you say, I can't come out to class? Obviously, I smell a rat. I smell a rat. Shanique, you smell a rat?
I surely do.
Then where you smell a rat?
Stench.
Oh boy, listen.
I smell a rat.
She is too.
I smell a rat.
The thing about it is, you know, we seem to have embedded in our country consistency of allegedly fraudulent behaviors. And it's almost so that the regular consumer is on the tail end of facing such things. Not only that, the government purse is often used as an endless pit of resources that we, the taxpayers, have to keep funding because of unscrupulous people. We need to get serious about these types of behaviors and fix these issues in this country. We cannot continue to operate like this. This is one of the reasons why we have such high taxation in this country. The ordinary behavior is struggling because of certain behaviors of some of our people. You know, we need to go back to that statement where it says, pirates expelled and commerce restored. Get rid of these pirates.
Yeah, but we have to hold people accountable for their actions and bad behavior. Whomever was taking the funds from these young ladies need to be put before the court because they're thieves. You can't pretty that up. You're stealing from people who desire to make their lives better and in addition serve in the capacity of nurse that are needed. And so they don't need the bad experience and they don't need the discouragement. I said, so a good place to start is with the investigation, and after finding out who the culprits are, to take them before the court. And hopefully there's not a lawyer dressed up as
I say call Woods Rogers. What do you say? What do you say? I say a spouse. What the last word is?
Listen, I have no idea.
Come on, man. We gotta. One of us gotta know it.
As long as you don't call us,
whatever he's trying to say.
Whatever it is, right? Restore commerce and expel the pirates. In other words,
well, I'll tell you this, they do need to seek legal counsel because obviously they will get no answers otherwise. But as long as they don't call Allah, do it from free court.
That's all.
That's all I'm saying. Don't call Mr.
He
may know the law.
The lady or the dude.
The dude.
The dude.
The gas fella. The gas man. The gas man.
Listen, you all, more reaction from the church tonight to that study from the University of the Bahamas. A local denominational head now raising concern about the devastating impact that the harsh realities raised in that controversial University of Bahamas report could have on the family unit. Jose Etienne has the story, and then we'll come back and talk about it.
The findings of a University of the Bahamas study examining what researchers describe as a growing sweethearting culture have left Bishop Anthony Farrington deeply troubled. He says the data points to what he calls a dangerous moral drift, one that signals a departure from the country's core values.
For it to be actually put into a study and that you can actually read and quantify and document it, it is very alarming. Our society has drifted.
The report pulls back the curtain on a conversation many have whispered about but rarely confronted head-on. It suggests sexual satisfaction is a major driver of so-called sweethearting relationships, even among married individuals. Researchers also cite financial support, emotional validation, and unmet needs, within existing marriages as key factors fueling the practice.
As I read some of the comments, I'm alarmed because so many persons are supporting it and see it as a norm. So it shows me that although we say that we are a Christian nation, we have a lot of work to do. It is wrong. I condemn it as a religious leader.
Farrington says what disturbs him the most is what he calls a normalization of infidelity. Married persons, he argues, disregarding sacred vows with little regard for the impact on children and the family unit.
I call it an evil because once a family is broken, then that means our social decadence are being destroyed. And we see it outplaying in all of our communities now.
Beyond the rebuke, questions emerge about accountability. What role should the church play in addressing what the study identifies as gaps in marriages?
Many churches have marriage seminars, we have family nights, and we actually promote the unity and the sanctity of marriage. So I want to encourage all religious leaders, all pastors, to really, now that this study is out, focus more on the family unit.
The study can also place faith leaders under scrutiny. Are existing programs effective if these relationships continue to persist? While some may argue the church must do more, Farrington insists that the first line of defense is the home.
You know that you come home and the door is closed or no food on the table or you're not talking and sleeping in the next room. That's a problem. So even if you can't address it yourself, seek counseling. It don't have to be a pastor. You know, we have a lot of other persons who are specializing in these areas, family matters.
Jose Etienne, Eyewitness News.
You know, that Pastor Farrington says that he's very surprised to hear that University of Bahamas survey about sweethearting. I'm surprised that he's surprised, but your thoughts on what he said. I mean, a lot of it is a lot of meat to chew on, but many churches shun what it is that make marriages happy and successful and beautiful and in the bedroom and out.
Is he new? Is he new to the Bahamas? He just come from Canada too, eh? Because we already had a national. He come with Reke. We already had a national argument in this country about how or what the children of sweethearts should inherit. So how come he's surprised that sweethearting in the Bahamas? I mean, he just reached a, he knew.
I think what he was alluding to, though, is what we highlighting. It's what we put in the magnifying glass over. And so there are many families who are trying to do the right thing. We have also decay in our families. But what he is really saying is that as a society, as a University of the Bahamas, why did you study the strength of the family structure in the Bahamas? How the family structures kept the Bahamas going to now. Why are you talking about the things that are destroying our families? And so for me, though, I think it's just how you're looking at it. Because he is right, because the strength or the foundation of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas is the family structure. And if that collapses, everything finished.
Society.
But everything finished. So what we need to do is that instead of focusing on the negative, shine the light on the positive. So while our young men are doing bad, but there are a lot of young people who are doing good. And so we keep shining the light on the negative because we love the sensationalism. We love the flair that it brings. Because anybody will hear how good families are doing. Anybody will hear what good children are doing. They will hear the bad children and the bad families. And there'll always be bad everywhere. But let's focus on the right. And Miles always used to say, you know, as Bahamians, we got to focus on things that are positive. So that's how we build our society.
So it'll be wrong for me to request that the University of the Bahamas do a study on who benefits most from 16-year-old giving consent to sex. I would like to hear who benefit most and how can we change.
You're going way left field with that. I mean, you're going.
I'm thinking if they have time to study sweetheart, can we study something that would improve our society? Like who benefits most from 16-year-old?
How do we teach our children at 16 you're not supposed to be having sex? Abstaining.
Because the law allows 16-year-olds. Let's study that.
Well, listen, I agree with what Cassius said. We're concentrating on the negative aspects of things, and so much so that it becomes the thing that you see the most, right?
Exactly.
But there's obviously an issue with the amount of sweethearting scenarios that transpires in the country, because what happens is now you have families having brothers and sisters outside of the family. They don't talk to them and all these other stuff. But that's a design by, obviously, where when you take the male figure out of the home, then you have a decaying society. And so we have some challenges in our system, and all of these things are as a result of where we are. But I'll sum it up to say, you know what our biggest problem is in all of this?
What?
We have a sex problem in this country.
Is it a problem now? Is it a problem?
Because sex is the root outside of marriage and having illicit sex.
Yes.
Is one of the
Is it a problem now? What was the first commandment God gave Adam?
That results from it. You talk
Have
about
sex.
All right.
outside children. You talk about
sex.
Be fruitful and multiply. It's not a problem.
Glenroy, I don't know if sex is the problem.
It's not a problem.
But can you imagine if they lock up husbands for rape?
Grinding unlawfully and all over the place is
what?
the problem.
No. But understand what I mean by that.
It's a
If
parameter.
you think about
Listen,
it, right?
I have to go.
People are guided by it.
But Shanique, before we go, the gym people say, I'm going to tell you they love you. All the people from the gym say, listen.
Hello, Jim. Hello.
They watch it. They say they can miss the 8 o'clock and catch it 11 o'clock.
I watch it. I love the reruns. We have this repeat on YouTube. Exactly. The YouTube channel, by the way, Beyond the Headlines 242. Get on there. That's why he's looking buff, y'all. Glenroy, you gotta get on this buff train. Listen, I thank you all so much. Peggy, thank you very much for the. It's my birthday all month and all year. Yes, absolutely.
We going to St. Bart's again?
Yes, we are going to St. Bart's. Yes, I want to thank you all so much, Peggy, Cassius, Glenroy. Thank you all so much. Incredible discussions and opinions and thoughts that you all shared this evening. And a huge thank you to all of you for tuning in. Certainly enjoyed having you along, and I look forward to seeing you right back here tomorrow evening for Temperature Check for the entire Beyond the Headlines team. I'm Shanique Miller. Make it a great evening, everyone.